to try one of the meatballs. They feel lovely and soft in the middle, and a little bit of the soup as well. That's so yummy. The soup, oh, just put some on my mouth I think. The soup is really smooth and creamy, and the meatballs are slightly crunchy on the outside, but they're really soft and juicy in the middle. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Gigi's Kitchen, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name is Alexis, and in today's video I want to share with you how to make this delicious southern spice soup with turkey meatballs. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make a really delicious southern spice soup with turkey meatballs. This recipe is so easy, and it's also very tasty as well. It's packed with flavour, and it's also loaded with protein too. So the first thing I've done for this recipe is I've got myself about 500 grams of turkey mince that I've put into this bowl, large mixing bowl, and to that I am going to add one courgette that I've just simply peeled and grated, and that's sort of going to act like an egg. So I'm going to put that in instead of an egg. And then to that I am going to add 4 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. Now if you can't get ground flaxseed, you can always use breadcrumbs. The reason I use flaxseed is because I have a slight gluten intolerance, so I always like to use an alternative to breadcrumbs, and I found flaxseed is really good. And then to that I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of dried oregano or oregano, depending on which continent you're standing. And then to that I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of tamari as well. And then of course I'm going to add some salt and pepper. So salt and pepper to your taste. You don't have to add it if you don't want to. So, and then I'm just going to add a couple of pinches of salt as well, like so. And then I'm just going to go and dampen my hands and grab myself a plate, and I'm going to make the meatballs. Time to start making the meatballs. So as I said, I've dampened my hands, and I'm just going to scrunch all of these ingredients together until everything is well mixed in. So I'm just going to keep mixing this, and then during this process you will probably need to dampen your hands a couple of times. So I'm just going to go and dampen my hands again, and now I'm going to split the mixture into 4 like so, and I'm going to divide those 4 parts into 4 more equal parts, well, as equal as you can. And I'm just going to roll a piece of the meat in between my hands and make it into a ball shape like so. So I'm just going to continue to do this until all of the mixture has been used up. As you can see, I have finished making the meatballs, and I'm off to pop these into the fridge. While these are in the fridge, I'm going to be making the soup, and then once the soup is cooking, towards the end of the cooking time, I will preheat the oven and I will pop these into the oven. While the oven is preheating, I will put a baking tray in at the same time, so that when these cold meatballs hit the hot baking tray, we will hopefully end up with a lovely crispy outside and a very soft and juicy inside. So yes, as I said, I'm off to pop these into the fridge for probably about 3 hours. It's time to start making the soup, and here I have about 300 grams of red lentils. In the original recipe I did say cannellini beans, about 300 grams, but I forgot to soak them overnight last night, so I'm using red lentils instead. You can use red lentils, you can use cannellini beans, you could use haricot beans as well if you wanted to, and also you could use them tinned too if you find it easier. And then to that I am going to add 1 carrot that I've just simply peeled and sliced, and 1 stick of celery that I've just simply sliced as well, and I'm going to pop that in. And then to that I'm going to add 1 tin of tomatoes. I'm just going to pop that in, and then I'm going to add the stock to the tomato tin, and I'm just going to pour that through, and what that does is just get rid of the excess around the sides. And then I'm just going to pour the rest of the stock in, and then to the stock I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of mild chili powder, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, a little pinch of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of onion granules and 1 teaspoon of garlic granules as well. And I'm just going to sprinkle that in like so. And then again I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of tamari. Tamari is just soya sauce that's been fermented for longer, so it's slightly better for the gut, but it's also gluten-free. So obviously, as you remember, I have a slight gluten intolerance, so I do like to buy gluten-free products if I can. And then I'm also going to add salt and pepper to that. So salt and pepper to your taste. If you don't want to add it, you don't have to. I'm just going to pop that in, like so. I might add a little bit more pepper. We do like a little bit of pepper and salt, but not too much, I have to say. And then I'm going to turn the slow cooker on, to high for about 3 hours. But if you wanted this to cook for a longer time, you could put it on low for 6 hours. It's almost dinner time in our house. I'm going to preheat my oven to 200 degrees. The soup has been in the slow cooker pot for a good 2.5 hours. So I'm just going to put the lid on loosely and I'm going to turn the pot off. The oven has preheated and I have transferred the meatballs to the preheated baking tray, and I'm going to pop this into the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes, or until the meatballs go a lovely golden brown colour and the juices run clear. The meatballs are a lovely golden brown colour and the juices are running clear, so I'm going to take these out of the oven and leave them to cool. As you can see, I have served up, and I will try some of this in a moment, but before I do, I just want to say that I did blend the soup before I served it. And I also wanted to say that if you have enjoyed this video today and you'd like to see more, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you did really enjoy this video, then please feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you have any questions or any comments, then please feel free to leave those in the comments section below. Everything like that really helps me out and I would really appreciate it. So yes, I'm going to give this a little try now. I'm going to try one of the meatballs. They feel lovely and soft in the middle, and a little bit of the soup as well. That's so yummy. The soup, oh, just put some on my mouth I think. The soup is really smooth and creamy, and the meatballs are slightly crunchy on the outside, but they're really soft and juicy in the middle. And both of those complement each other really well. So yes, I'm really looking forward to having my dinner this evening. That's how you make this yummy soup and meatballs, and that recipe I will link in the description box below. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to you watching my next video.